guys, welcome to week 2, day 1. I am traveling this week for work, so I have some special guests. This is Amanda and Myra joining us today. So our goal today is 7 repetitions of 30 seconds on the block LSIT prep. So just like every other day, if you can't hit 30 seconds, that's okay. Set yourself down and continue that engagement, pulling your hips back, and that's going to work your TVA to the point where you're going to be able to hold that lift longer. So let's go ahead and get started with round number 1. Pressing down, lifting up, shifting those hips back as far as we can. And think about, if you sit down, that's okay. So pull your hips back. So press down like this. It's okay if your shoulders are up here by your ears, and pull your hips back. So you can feel that engagement even if you're not lifted off the ground.
Oh, okay.
So it's okay if you can't hold. You still have that engagement, and that'll work it to the point where you can get up and hold off the ground. There's 1. Congratulations.
Yay!
1 out of 7. Roll your wrist out.
Yes, because
Mine
I feel
pop.
pressure right here.
If you feel pressure right there, try pressing with these 3 fingers. So this is where the primary strength in your hand comes from, is right here. That's where you have the most leverage.
Okay.
And so try pressing specifically into those. You can even start with your hands kind of popped up a little bit like that instead of flat. And that'll help you remember to press down. And still, when you put your body weight on it, it's going to push your hands down, right?
Okay.
But if you think about pushing in with those, or maybe even you can wrap your thumb around a little bit here on the block to give you some grip there, that'll help alleviate the pressure in your wrist.
Okay.
Okay, round 2. Press down, shift the hips back. Back is more important than up, so it doesn't matter how far up you are, your shoulders may be hunched, and that's okay. Mine were at first 2. And if you drop down after a few seconds, that's okay. Just hold that engagement and that muscle pulling back. Almost there. Woo, and 2. Can do anything for 30 seconds. Do you have quad cramping? Either of you, right here?
No.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Flip over and stretch them out like this. I'll give you a little bit of a stretch. If you need more of a stretch, you can lean back a little bit, and that will stretch out the front of your legs and stretch out your tummy a little bit. So, nice little gentle release. So the reason that your quads cramp in that position is lack of hip flexor strength. So we all usually have really tight hips from doing a bunch of sitting. Tight doesn't always mean strong, unfortunately. So tight hip flexors mean that we can't hold our body's weight out off of the ground. And so your quads will start trying to over muscle that and take the weight that the hip flexors should be supporting. And so as you practice the L6, your hip flexors will gain strength, and you'll be able to lift up longer without quad cramping. So if you get quad cramping while we're in that position, you can point your toes, and that'll pull the quadricep muscle down towards your knee and help stretch it out so it won't cramp as much.
Ooh.
Okay, round 3. Pushing down, pulling back. Thinking about pushing into the fingertips. You can think about pulling your shoulder blades together behind your back. That'll engage your lat muscles and help support you some. If you feel a lot of strain in your shoulders, just pull back further, because that means that your shoulders are trying to take over and hold your body weight. And that's not where we want the focus to be. Point your toes if legs start cramping. And down. 3. Almost halfway. 7's a hard number because there's not a halfway point. You're like, almost there, and then I'm over half. Whew. Take some breaths, roll the wrists out. Mine always pop when I do this. Deep breath.
I do feel it right here. Feels good.
Yeah, you'll feel right here.
I do
That's your hip
too.
flexors.
Oh,
So they're trying to lift your legs up, but if they don't have all the power to hold them, then your quads will start trying to help out, and that's what causes cramping.
Yoga?
A little bit. Okay, ready for number 4?
Mm-hmm.
Let's do it. Okay, pressing down, pulling the hips back. You can close your eyes and think about where you feel the muscle engagement along your sides and in your core. You can imagine the TVA is like a tube that wraps you up, kind of like your own internal weight belt or waist trainer. Pull those hips back. It's okay to come down a little bit or come down all the way. Just continue that backward pulling feeling. And down. That's 4, over halfway. Almost there. You guys are doing great. In jeans and everything, making it happen. Stretch your legs out. You can also do like a low lunge here for a deeper quad stretch. That'll get in your hip flexors too.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a good one.
yeah.
Just whatever you need to do to
Oh, that feels so good.
release that tension in your muscles so you can keep pressing. Knee pop too. Okay. Ready for number 5?
Yes.
Okay. Press down and pull back. Thinking about controlling our breathing, not giving into the urge to pant really quickly. That's tough for me in longer holds. I start breathing really aggressively. Think about pulling those hips back, pressing down through the hands, pulling the shoulders together, almost there. There we go. Whew. Almost there. That was 5, right?
Yes.
I'm not the best at counting.
Was that?
That was 5. So 2 more, almost there. That right there is forearm strength. Why it's red right there, while you're getting pressure.
Yes.
Yeah. So you can, if you have tennis balls at home, this is really effective to do. There's an instructional video too on my channel, and you're basically holding on fingertips, but the ball's right here, so it supports some of your weight because like none of us can hold a fingertip plank. That's tough. But then you build that strength, and if you see my arms, how it starts engaging right there on the forearm,
Mm-hmm.
so you're gonna build that strength, and that actually takes the weight out of your wrist, because when you're holding in the L sit, you're gonna be able to press down harder right here and engage these muscles, and it's gonna lift your weight off the wrist, so you won't experience as
So
much
help
pain.
for push-ups too, right?
It will, absolutely, yeah,
I
anything
always
where
get
you're
wrist
putting,
pain.
yeah, anything where you're putting weight on your wrists, like downward dog, like handstands, anything like that, also it's anything where you're putting pressure in your hands, you just have to work on developing this and this, which is counterintuitive, because a lot of us get lost on like YouTube videos and articles on how to prevent wrist pain and like a million stretches, but really it's just about having the strength in the right places to take the weight out of those joints, because they're not weight bearing joints. Okay, ready for number 6?
Let's do it.
Okay. Pushing down, pulling back. Almost there. You can do anything for 30 seconds. Feeling that engagement in the core. You can close your eyes to try to focus on where you feel that feeling. Can help you hold it for a little bit longer. It's always harder for me to hold it when I'm looking at the clock. Makes it seem longer. Almost there. And down. Woo! Almost there, guys. Doing great. And jeans and everything. See, we didn't even need stretchy jeans. Just a little bit. All my jeans are stretchy.
There's a little stretch in there.
Yeah, has to be. As you progress through these, you may start feeling some sensation right here in your lower back. That's your QL muscle, so your quadratus lumborum.
Right here.
Yeah, that support your pelvis right there. And if you haven't done a lot of specific like flexibility exercises, it might feel a little weird. Sometimes it itches when you start specifically targeting it because it hasn't been stretched in a long time. So that's okay. If you feel any sharp pain, then stop whatever you're doing. But if you don't feel sharp pain, you just feel sensation there, that's that muscle lengthening, which is good, and it'll help you in things like toe touches and stuff like that. Because the reason usually that you have trouble with this kind of flexibility is because your attachment points for your hamstring muscles are shifted kind of out of where they're supposed to be because of that tight muscle. So this muscle gets way too tight and it pulls your pelvis up towards your rib cage and it tilts your pelvis, and so that means on the other side, your hamstring attachments are pulling up like this, so when you're trying to stretch, it's stretching those attachment points, those ligaments, instead of stretching the actual muscle. So when you start opening up that QL muscle, you'll get some flexibility gains and like toe touching.
So is that the only way you stretch it, is through these back things?
There's a couple of other ways you can stretch it. You can do like hamstring hangs, which is where you stand on an elevated surface like a chair or something like that, and you hold weight. So first you would start off just doing like a regular forward fold, and then you would add weight to it so that your hands come below your feet, and that will start opening this up. So when I started doing this, my back itched for like 2 weeks. It was really weird, so because the muscle hadn't been working, so it was just growing and stuff. Feels weird, so it was a very odd feeling. But yeah, it'll open up a lot, so you can stretch that, and you can also do Uttanasana, which is like your feet together, this stretch. This one you have to be careful with your knees stuff, so if you feel any kind of sharp pinching in your knees, you have to stop and do some other kind of stretching until your body's ready to go back there. Okay, last one.
Last one.
Here we go. Okay, pushing down, pulling back. Focusing on pressing those fingers down into our blocks. You can think about shifting those shoulders a little bit down from the ears. That's going to happen naturally as we gain strength, but the most important thing here is to pull those hips back as far as possible. Remember, if you get cramping in your quads, you can point those toes instead of flexing them. You can go back and forth if that helps you hold it longer. Almost there. And done. Yay! Good, Simon. Thank you. Good job, ladies.
That was really good.
Yeah,
Even
very effective.
when I get back down on the floor, I can still feel right
Yeah.
here
Uh-huh.
and right here.
Yeah, your hip flexors are really complex muscles, so it's a group of multiple muscles that wrap all the way around right here, and they help support you. And usually when we're doing a lot of sitting and stuff, we put way more weight than they're intended to bear. They're supposed to be secondary stabilizers, and our transverse abdominis and then our latissimus dorsi on the back are supposed to be primary stabilizers. They wrap around kind of like this and push you up, and then like the muscles along your ribs here kind of zip them together, and so that's supposed to be primary stability, and then your hips shouldn't bear as much weight and they should just do more flexibility. But when we don't train these muscles here, then we put a lot of weight in our hips and it causes a lot of tightness here. So you can get a lot of benefit just from a little bit of training in the TBA because it starts supporting your body better.
Well, I feel it. I
Good.
definitely feel it.
Whew, made it.
It's good.
That also stretches your QL, Amanda.
I feel,
Oh, yeah.
I feel the stretch.
Child's pose. Child's pose is one of my favorite poses. Oh. Oh. Stretched out, rested. It's the best part. Best part is always the end. Oh, thank you guys for joining us today. I'll see you tomorrow for week 2, day 2. Bye.
Bye.
Y'all are cute. Thank you.
As we say.